So I figured I'd just introduce you guys to this fantastic intersection. As you can see, it's headed to the 406 south. And over here, we do have a cut curb for pedestrians. The roadway comes straight against the road. Now, fortunately behind us, there's a bit of a boulevard and the roadway and the sidewalk is wide enough. But over here, you can see that there's no crosswalk indicated on the road surface. And the yield sign is actually automotive, so it's make sure the guys on the right yield to the guys on the left. There's no indication whatsoever for the automobiles to yield to pedestrians, and in fact they don't. They typically do not yield to pedestrians, and the pedestrians actually have to look behind them to see if there's any automotive traffic incoming. So I wanted to give you a look at that intersection from the other side. So over here you can see that there's a line up here waiting to turn left, and these guys are going to turn left over this crosswalk here. Now fortunately the crosswalk is the right length, which is to say that the pedestrians only need to cross less than 20 feet at a time, which is correct. It's also marked on the road surface. Also, the indicator for the pedestrians is not tied to this button. This button is entirely useless, which is better, which means that you don't have to hit the button in order for the indicator to go. And that's the correct way to do things. Now, the design flaw in this particular section of the intersection is over here with these guys turning left. Because what happens is they are under pressure to turn left over this enormous space into this relatively small space. But because of the low curve that they have to go through to get here, they end up going incredibly fast to do so. So here we have traffic moving. There's no reason why a pedestrian can't go. The indicator is red, which means do not go. And these guys pull through this intersection without a clear ability to see pedestrians coming through, and then they drive through as fast as they possibly can to do that. So we're going to hit the button. We're going to let another light cycle go, and we're going to explore some of the difficulties. Now, as I was saying before, that intersection over there, where they're merging towards their right, as you can see, has no indication on the pavement or above that there are pedestrians crossing there. So there's no indication to be aware of pedestrians, and because of the layout, the speed is incredibly fast turning right through that merge there. Now over here is where we have our wonderful left turny guys all set up and ready to go. And as soon as their light changes, because so many of them are in the intersection, they're going to blow through at maximum possible speed here. As you can see, they're accelerating as fast as they can and cutting that corner as fast as they can, cutting off the people merging in automobiles, but of course also potentially cutting off pedestrians. Now, our indicator says we cannot go. However, their indicator turning left also says they can't go. And this street across, I'm not sure if you can totally see, it has no straight through lane, which means that they can't cross this intersection. Neither can the guys turning left, but our indicator remains red, meaning we can't proceed, even though it's perfectly safe to proceed because no traffic may cross this intersection at this point. So now we're turning left again, and despite this light being on, we are not given the right of way to go across, because that button does not actually do anything, as we said before. And now you have pedestrian walking and people cutting off traffic. And that is the typical behavior at this particular intersection.